Hey guys, Courtney here with Courtney's Customs, and today I am super excited to be using some of my own patterned vinyl to create a St. Patty's Day tumbler. This is the vinyl that I'm using for today's video, and I'm super excited. I think it is absolutely adorable. So of course I had to snag some of my vinyl for myself, and I'm going to show y'all how to create a really cute V-Split tumbler with some vinyl. I'm starting off with a 20-ounce skinny straight from Courtney's Customs blanks, and I am not going to be spray painting this just yet. So I'm going to show you guys how I prep my tumblers, and I will not be spray painting. I'll actually be using some pop of color paints to make it a little easier on myself. So I'm going to sand this tumbler, clean it up, and then move on. Okay, so now that it's sanded and wiped down with 91% rubbing alcohol, I'm going to take this vinyl and let me show you a little trick. I'm going to have to trim it up to make it fit, but if you take some vinyl and you fold it in half, like so, and then cut that half off, now you can use this and, like I said, trim it up to make it as big or as small as you want. Like, of course, I don't really want my V to come down to the very bottom of the cup, so I am going to cut that way down. So that's good. So now, of course, I'm going to have to do some trimming through here, but you get the gist of it. So if you take your vinyl and you cut it and you fold it in half and then cut where you folded, now you have leftover and you can do it again for another tumbler. So once I'm satisfied with how it looks, I'm going to take a corner and fold it back. And then I'm going to lay my tumbler down and I'm going to put it on my cup cradle here that I got at Bama Cups. And this is going to prevent it from rolling all around and just messing everything up. So I'm going to stand up and get over top of it so I can get a good straight view. Alright, so that's down right there. And I'm going to work this around the tumbler, kind of like I showed you when I did the full wrap cheetah print tumbler with my new vinyl and the new Courtney's Customs bundle. I'm doing that. So now we are left with this right here, and now I'm going to go in with my X-Acto knife. I should have done this in the beginning, but I didn't. It is a little bit right here, but I'm going to cut just like, try to get like the tiniest little rim that I can. If I leave this at all the way to the rim of the tumbler and not give myself just like the tiniest little lip, the epoxy, once it gets to that point, it's not going to have anything to like grip onto. So the vinyl is going to be right up to the lip of the cup. The epoxy is not going to have anything to grip onto, and it's going to look really, really bad. And so you'll have to end up going through and trimming it anyway with like a Dremel or something. So you might as well just go ahead and do it now. So now that this is on, everything looks really good. I'm going to go in with Pear. This is a green paint from Pop of Color, my Wet n Wild makeup brush that I always use, and a green glitter called Mojito from the Glitter Grind. I think this is going to look really, really good on there. And I'm gonna be using the paint as my adhesive. That's just gonna save me a step, and you guys know I'm all about saving steps. But before I start painting, I am gonna come in with some painter's tape, and I am just gonna put just like a little bit of a protective layer over this vinyl because I don't wanna get any paint and glitter on there. I wanna try to keep it as crisp and clean as I can. I am going to end up putting some more vinyl as like stripes. So if it's not perfectly perfect right now, it's okay because that will probably end up being covered by the vinyl that I'm going to put on in the next couple of days. But just to help myself out a little bit, I'm going to add the tape. And I'm not like really pressing it down too hard because I'm worried about pulling up the vinyl, but I am just trying to cover up what I can. Okay, so now we can paint. I'm going to paint everything that is stainless steel with this really gorgeous like olive green. Like I said, again, it's called Pear from Pop of Color, and oh my gosh, I need to order more. I need as many colors of this paint as I can possibly get. I would do this over spray paint any day. For one, I don't know if you can hear it on my metal roof, but it's raining pretty hard, so I wouldn't be able to go spray paint anyway. And oh, I just adore Pop of Color. I do have a discount code for them. It is CC8. You get $8 off of, whoa, there's a piece of vinyl there. $8 off of your order of $36 or more. And that's code CC8. So now that I have, and that's just one coat, look at that. So pretty. So now I am going to use this as my adhesive, so I'm going to immediately go in with my glitter. Look how pretty! Oh my gosh. Now I don't have to wait for the paint to dry and then use Mod Podge and then wait for the Mod Podge to dry. I did miss a spot right there, I think, though. No? No, I didn't. I thought I did. Make sure everything is covered. On the bottom there. Oh yeah, everything looks really good. And that's another reason why I love the glitter grind too, you guys, because one coat of glitter most of the time is all you need. And now I'm immediately going in and very gently removing that tape. Alright, so now I'm just going to give that paint time to dry, which I'll let it set for like 10 or 15 minutes or so while I work on other things. And I'm going to spray this with 2 times Rust-Oleum Clear, pop it on my turner from Bama Cups, add a couple coats of epoxy, and then I'll come back to show y'all the next step. Alright y'all, confession time. Whoa, see what I mean? I've been struggling, I don't know, just the last few days with being out here working. Like, I keep messing things up and I keep struggling, and I don't know, it'll pass, but I'm just having, I don't know, one of those weeks, I guess, I don't know, but it happens to everybody, so now it's my turn, I guess. But I'm saying this because I gotta let y'all know that I had to redo this entire tumbler. I messed it up entirely. I didn't mess up the design, but I came out here the next day to add another coat of epoxy, and the epoxy, I must have not mixed it up properly. Maybe I got in too big of a hurry, but the epoxy was extremely tacky. I wouldn't even say tacky, it was wet. Like, it was wet. After 24 hours, it was still wet. There was no sign of it eventually curing, so I started a new one. So I just didn't know if like this would be off or like different, and you're like, wait a minute, like that wasn't there, or like something looks different about it. So I just wanted to let you all know from the get-go that I had to restart this over. Same steps, so I didn't want to take y'all through it again, but yes, I did have to start it over, so there's that. So now that everything seems to be going smoothly for it, I cut these out with my Cameo. They are 0.2 inches wide, and I made them 11.5 long, which is probably going to be like way too long, but that's okay because they can be trimmed. So I am just going to outline the V pretty much. So what I like to do is take it from one side, if I can get a hold of it. Take it from one side and bend it down so some of it is exposed, and apply it like so. So I am just like removing the backing as I go rather than taking the whole thing off, you know what I mean, and trying to put it on like that. So now I'm just going to cut that, and it's way too long, but it will be trimmed. And then same thing on this side here. So now I'm pushing everything down, getting it nice and smooth. Oh, and if you're wondering like what I'm going to do with this up here, I did remove way too much. I put way too big of a lip up there, so I am going to fix that here in just a moment. I didn't want you to see that and be like, girl, you going to fix that or what? So now I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and come down here where the vinyl crosses and trim it up like so, so I can have a V shape down there. Or like a nice point, I should say, not really a V shape. And then just remove that. And it looks good. And it looks good up there. I didn't have to trim it. I just kind of lined it up on its own when I put it down. And so for this top here that I've just completely butchered, it's just one of those weeks, you know what I mean? It'll pass. It's okay. It might pass like a kidney stone, but it'll pass. So I am going to tape it off. And I have this paint from Apple Barrel, and it's called King's Gold, and I figured it would match this pretty well. So if there's like a stripe of it up there, I don't think that'll look too bad. So this is a paintbrush that I got from Pop of Color. And I am just gonna put just a little bit of that on. How did I already get it on my hand? Lord have mercy. But I am just gonna paint that rim and give it a cute little stripe. Wasn't exactly what I was planning on doing with this, but I would rather there be something there than to leave it stainless steel, especially with that much. If I would have done a smaller lip, then it probably would have been fine. But I got a little too happy with my knife, I guess. And I made the rim of it too wide, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna let this dry and do another layer so it looks good and like smooth. But that matches this down here pretty good, so it might look all right. Alright, so I think this looks a lot better than just leaving it blank, especially since it matches this. So it looks really good. I am going to make sure this is completely dry, which I'm pretty sure it is. It looks dry. So I'm going to pop this on my turner, add a couple coats of epoxy, and then I will come back to show y'all the finished result. So here we are the next day. Everything is super cute. I think this turned out really good at the top. And I mean, that's it. You can add a couple more coats of epoxy, which I will add at least one more. But that's it. And I think it turned out super cute, and I love this vinyl. Before I go, like always, I do have y'all's cup of positivity for the day. And today's quote is, "Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared." And that is a quote from Buddha. That is all I have for y'all today. I really hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If y'all have any questions, like always, please feel free to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Be kind, love one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!